err on the side of preparedness versus panic.
A shortage of toilet paper, hand sanitizers, and soap expanding. In some stores, now freezer sections and fresh meats also cleaned out.
We definitely had to go to more than one store to be able to get everything that we needed today.
The challenge? Hoarding, with many shoppers afraid supplies will run out.
Hoarding is hurting our communities, so please don't do that.
This is not a time to panic. We are not closing grocery stores.
The grocery stores are not shutting down. No need to rush into the stores as if all of the food will be gone.
Absolutely no eggs.
The fear prompted by images of empty store shelves across America.
What's the hardest thing to find right now?
Makers of toilet paper like Georgia Pacific say they're rolling it out as quickly as possible. Inside some stores, new precautions like plastic shields around cashiers at Texas chain H-E-B.
We have our first report card on the Trump tax cuts for corporations. Believe it or not, it has been 2 years since Donald Trump signed the tax cuts passed by the Republican-controlled Congress into law, which cut the U.S. corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. But according to a new report, 379 of America's Fortune 500 companies actually paid only a federal corporate income tax rate of 11.3%. And 91 of America's largest corporations, like Amazon and Chevron, paid no federal income taxes at all. Zero. Zilch. This is all according to a new report from the Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy entitled Corporate Tax Avoidance in the First Year of the Trump Tax Law. Back with...
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that has an objective, we're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant that knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that? Like injection inside or almost a cleaning, because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number. And like I said, it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical.
The number one thing that we can do to support our local businesses is get out of their way.
That was Texas Republican H. Scott Appley in 2019, before the pandemic came along, and he became a raging critic.
That's right!
Praising mask burnings, calling a health official promoting vaccine an absolute enemy of a free people, and last Friday echoing a claim vaccines don't really work anyway. But just after posting that, according to a GoFundMe page set up for his family, Appley was admitted to a hospital, diagnosed with COVID, and by Tuesday, he was dead.
The virus. They're working hard. Looks like by April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true.
Plenty of Republicans joined Donald Trump's early dismissal of the COVID threat, even as he wound up in the hospital from the virus. Among them, one-time presidential hopeful Herman Cain, who downplayed masking at one point before he went to a crowded Trump rally unmasked last summer, developed COVID symptoms, and died. But GOP downplaying of the danger did not stop then, not even close. In Tennessee, conservative radio host Phil Valentine joked about the virus this summer. Then it nearly killed him, and left his brother pleading with the public.
We want as many people as can hear my voice this morning to put politics aside and go get the vaccine.
In Louisiana, Republican Luke Letlow died of COVID in December, weeks before he was to be sworn into Congress. He wanted the vaccine, it wasn't available. Now his wife, elected to fill his seat, can't believe others still won't take it.
I would have given anything. I would have given everything for that shot to be available for us. I mean, looking back now, and for someone to turn it away, it's heartbreaking to me.
Still, a recent poll found nearly a third of Republicans insist they will never take the vaccine, even as other people like Travis Campbell, who just didn't get around to getting the shot, is also begging from his hospital bed for everyone to get on board.
The truth, wherever it goes, if you really want
Yeah, some Republican leaders are now in a lukewarm fashion embracing the idea that we should do something about this, but an awful lot of others still remain white hot against mask mandates, against any kind of social distancing, against any sense that there should actually be restrictions if you do not get the vaccination, even while their own supporters keep getting sick and dying.
They're working hard. Looks like by April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true. But we're doing great in our country. China, I spoke with President Xi, and they're working very, very hard. And I think it's going to all work out fine. Rough stuff, I tell you, rough stuff. But I think it's going to work out good. What do you have, a very small number of people in the country right now with it? It's like around 12. Many of them are getting better. Some are fully recovered already. So we're in very good shape.
Christopher represents a genuine challenge. Do the American values of individual choice have to take priority over public health?
By the time they're here, what can you do? And it's when somebody's in a room really, really sick and can't breathe and suffering, it's just not a good time for a lecture.
But the result in a place like Mountain Home is a 36% vaccination rate, and people are dying. Vaccinated floating around. It makes it hard for those who actually do want it.
I have a parent who does not necessarily support vaccinations. It was hard because she asked me where I was going. I was like, I want to get vaccinated, and she was not very happy with that.
What struck me was that Mary Beth had the courage to go against the grain.
People should be more concerned about the well-being of those around them, because I feel like not enough people are thinking about other people when they make the decision not to get the vaccine.
There's an irony in someone rebelling against a culture of individualism for the good of their community. But voices like Mary Beth's are drowned out by leaders who are contradicting public health officials.
No, the state is not going to be requiring and mandating vaccinations.
And I don't believe anyone should be forced to take the vaccine. It should be your personal choice.
These vaccines are always voluntary and never forced.
We don't have to accept the mandates, lockdowns, harmful policies of the petty tyrants and bureaucrats.
We can either have a free society or we can have a biomedical security state.
There's no better place to see the impact of this political rhetoric than in the hospital. Only about 50% of the staff are vaccinated. None of the unvaccinated staffers were willing to talk.
There are just a lot of people that you cannot convince to get vaccinated. Patients, employees, it's very frustrating. It's sad. It's disappointing.
Just a few months ago, the staff was planning a cookout to celebrate the end of COVID. But instead of barbecuing, they're now battling another surge.
It's exhausting. We're all exhausted. We don't have staff. We don't have beds.
One obvious way out is to mandate the vaccine. But in April, the governor signed a law banning government mask mandates and vaccine passports.
Breaking news, terror in Charlottesville. Chaos in the streets as a car plows into a crowd of people.
Pools of blood all over the ground, people screaming. I've never seen such a horrific, blatant racist attack in my entire life.
After clashes between white nationalists and counter-protesters, victims thrown in the air, one woman dead, others critically wounded.
It became a big doggone melee out here.
The alleged driver arrested. What we're learning about the suspect this morning was he fueled by hate.
And fighting erupts on the streets of this American city. Hate groups making Nazi salutes.
Please go home and never come back.
Skirmishing with counter-protesters, beating each other with clubs, kicking each other to the ground.
This is a battleground right now.
Police in riot gear out in full force.
Get out of the car!
Overnight, mourning two of their own. A police helicopter crashing.
And this morning, President Trump under fire.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides.
Taking heat for what he did not say, even members of his own party speaking out. The fallout this morning.
I'm responsible for him, and I told him to wear that mask. Dawn Marshall tells News Channel 8 she's very upset about what Governor Ron DeSantis told her son and 6 other high school students at the start of his press conference at USF on funding for cybersecurity education.
You do not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything, and we got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
In that moment, now viewed millions of times, Senior Eric Marshall opted to take his mask off.
Did you feel pressure by the governor to do that?
A little. It was more of a pressure of an adult figure asking me to do something, and it's just like, all right.
It's just shocking that the governor told these kids, take off your mask. He pretty much said, take off your mask, it's stupid. And take off your mask, your parents don't matter.
Her initial reaction to seeing her son in the video,
he knows I'm gonna say something. And his eyebrows went up and he looked shocked.
Freshman Kevin Brown Jr. decided to keep his mask on even after someone pulled him away from standing behind the governor.
I was thinking, I don't know if I should take it off or leave it on because it's the governor. He asked me to take it off. But I thought about it, and it's my right to have my mask on.
In a statement, Hillsborough Superintendent Addison Davis says, our students should be valued and celebrated. It is a student and parent's choice to protect their health in a way they feel most appropriate. Brown's father agrees.
His mother tells him to wear the mask. I tell him it's his choice. So he made that choice, and the governor has no right to tell no kid or no one who they can or can't wear a mask. He doesn't have that right.
Relatives who died were unvaccinated. And to give you a sense of just how large the COVID death toll is, 1 million is double the population of the entire city of Atlanta. And guys, for more context, the 1918 flu pandemic killed about 675,000 people in the U.S., making COVID the deadliest pandemic in American history.
Mitch McConnell announced he will hold a vote to repeal Obamacare without a replacement, even though he knows it can't pass.
If that vote fails, do you then begin working with Democrats?
We'll have to see what happens. We will have demonstrated that Republicans by themselves are not prepared at this particular point to do a replacement.
Democrats said it was proof grassroots opposition works. On Twitter, they hailed everyone who sent letters, made calls, or attended a town hall. Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey.
It's a great day. It's a great victory for the health care of the American people.
You're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state, and flipping the state is a great testament to our country, because, you know, there's just, it's a testament that they can admit to a mistake, or whatever you want to call it, if it was a mistake, I don't know.
I'll admit it. I did try and fuck her. She was married. Oh no, Nancy. No, this was good. And I moved in her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved in her like a bitch. So I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see that she's now got the big phony pics and everything. She's totally changed her look.
Your girl's hot as shit.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes, the Donald is good. Oh, my man. Wait, you gotta look at him when you get out here. Like, set this up.
That is very.
You give me the thumbs up.
You are.
You gotta put the thumbs up. You gotta get the thumbs up. Can't be too happy. Yeah,
maybe it's a different one. Yeah, that's it. It'll go. I gotta use some pictures just in case it's like this one. You know, I'm automatically attracted to people. I just start kissing them. It's like a magic. I don't even wait. And when you start, they let you do it. You can do anything. You have them by the pussy.